my support hasn't changed. I mean, I know there's some people in this room that think that I flip-flop. I was against the tax break. I wasn't against the tax break. And do I think that this is the moment that's going to turn this city around? Absolutely not. I think it's going to take a combination of potentially developing this property, getting a fully developed Spalding fiber, going after some homeowners that let their properties fall in disrepair. The state changing the zombie legislation for us to go after these financial institutions that let their homes fall in disrepair. It's a multifaceted thing. I don't think that this is the silver bullet that's going to save our city. Is it a step in the right direction? That's open for interpretation. As somebody that bought their home on Brookside Terrace, I love having no neighbors behind me, but I also know that that's never going to happen because of the power lines, and maybe when I turn off the lights I glow at night because of that. I understand, and I can sympathize with people saying that this has been parkland for all this time, but really we as a city, things aren't getting cheaper. It's not getting cheaper to conduct business here in the city, and costs aren't going down. So something has to give. You either have to raise taxes to make up the difference, or you cut services. Me, I love the services that our city provides, and I don't want to see our services cut. But on the other hand, I know that there are people on fixed income here in the city that can't afford a 3% tax increase or a 4% tax increase every year. So there's a fine line that you have to walk between keeping costs down, but also broadening that piece of pie that the city gets every year, not from just same residents, but hopefully from either residents and or industry that are moving into the city. So, you're welcome.
I just have another question for the mayor. I know it's Spalding Farms. I don't see a lot of work going on over there.
It's being marketed by one of the largest commercial realtor companies in the area.
Nobody's fighting it.
The problem is and David Holmes kind of brought it in, and I don't want to detract from this meeting by talking about Spalding, but
We need that money for the city, right?
right, but just to let you know, with that property, there's a 10-year tax break that's associated with that property. So any structure that is built on that property, it takes 10 full years for us to realize 100% of the taxes that would be on that building. The first 3 years, that building's taxed at only 10%. The following 3 years, it's taxed at 20%, and the final 4 years, it's taxed at 30%. So the city would receive full taxes for the property, but not for the building. And property taxes on just property are minuscule at best. So it would be 10 years until the city would see 100% of the tax revenue on the property and the structure for any building that's bought. And that wasn't our doing, that wasn't the city's doing that, because of the brownfield opportunity, because it was the Superfund site. These were the incentives that were put in place by the county in order to entice somebody to try to either relocate or open up shop there. So there have been a ton of bites, but a lot of the bites that have been there have been for uses like outdoor construction supply company, which you would have mammoth pieces of equipment, crushed stone, dust generated, which is not what the city wants to see, and that's not what it's zoned for. So
You're gonna build houses in Elmwood Park?
in Elmwood Park,
Yeah, they've got that big triangle, it's looking.
big triangle in Elmwood Park.
Yeah, the big open area there.
Right.
Houses in there.
That's not my call. That's
You can't
not my
build in Elmwood Park, you can't build in Betts Park.
That's not my call. As I explained before, whether we develop or not develop is not my call. It is not my decision to make. And this is some people want to criticize it, but this is why government's in place, because I wouldn't want to be king. I wouldn't want to be tyrant. I wouldn't want to be the sole person. There's a system of checks and balances put in place for a reason. And this is the exact reason why. So one person can't go off on a tangent and decide that this is what's best for the community. It's a group of people as a whole moving together forward, backwards, whichever way you want to look at it, for the community as a whole. So
Is this going to go to a referendum eventually? Then you are the kingmaker then.
What's that?
You are the kingmaker
No,
then.
I don't have a vote.
Council.
I don't have a vote. There is no,
What would be wrong with a referendum?
the way government is, the referendum would be empty because it's not required under state law. So it would just be a referendum for the purpose of having a referendum, which I think, I mean, why do anything if it doesn't have any teeth?
Maybe you'd find out what the people thought.
Well, this is why we're
Talk to
having
your
this meeting.
councilman.
This is the purpose of this meeting, to do this, to put information on the website about what the two developers are proposing, and for the council and or my office to get feedback from residents. So,
Ma'am,
How long does a project like this typically take?
a couple of years.
Couple years? 2, 3?
That we would target 2 years, 2.5 years.
You'd be done?
Go ahead. That's our game plan from when we can sell our first home.
Got to be 43 homes, or are you open to less?
We're definitely open, that's why we have options, and these options aren't all the same numbers. They're varying. The highest is like 46, the lowest might be 40. But again, once we get the approvals, we will sit down and it'll have to be re-approved before we break ground or start. This is what is best for the town. And I think they're going to reach out to you all and ask them questions, correct me if I'm wrong. If the town is not happy, we don't want to build it. If the majority of the town doesn't want us to build here, we're okay. We thank you for our time and we'll move on. But I think they're going to do a poll or some type of study, and I think that makes a lot of sense. And I've seen it in other towns, and you let the town speak.
It's a big piece of property, but I don't think it's as big as it looks on paper. When you put 47 homes into it.
It could be worse. It could be 120.
take one or two more questions, and then I wanted to open it up for the two developers to have a one-on-one with people, and for people to be able to see the charts that they may not be able to see.
I'm much more familiar with David Homes and how they operate. Pardon my ignorance, but how do you intend to market all these properties?
Well, currently, we've been doing our marketing through the ML, and we've been hosting open houses, and we do it through, Donna will tell you, through Twitter, Facebook.
Yeah, we do some social media, we do a little bit of everything. Probably, our first form of advertising is actually putting a home up and people being able to go through and seeing what, and feel what they're going to get.
We've gotten a ton of calls already. It's only been, 14 months, whatever it's been since we've been working on the project.
And we actually did build homes that would fit in this price bracket, a couple, so people can walk through them.
Mayor, can I make a suggestion? When you split them up, maybe put one in the hallway and one in the room, or one in the back and in the other room, just try to get a little space between them, or? Because it's probably gonna get loud.
I mean, we can do that. Right in this corner and in that corner. You want to hold the whole Democrat-Republican thing, or? Yeah, we can. I mean, what we can do is, if you want to set up in the conference room, or maybe in the atrium, and then we'll leave.
Yeah, it's okay, you can put me in the back room.
So we'll put David Holmes out there, and people can talk with them, and we'll leave Brownstone in here, and residents can talk. But I just want to say, I know everybody